Hi pet lovers, thank you for joining Gina's grooming channel, and thank you for joining us on another episode of our vlog where we discuss grooming industry subjects, mostly for aspiring groomers, but also for pet lovers who just want to know what goes on in grooming. Welcome! Now today's discussion is going to be the first in many about grooming pricing. This is a very big discussion. So today we're going to start with a foundation, and we're going to call this Unit 1. Know that if you really want to understand why grooming is priced the way that it is, to stay tuned, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button, because we're really going to delve into it like a university subject, like a vocational subject should. It's not a very simple subject. So again, today is going to be Unit 1, the foundations of grooming pricing. And then again, we're going to go into more detail as we progress on this journey together. It's important to first lay down the foundation and the concepts of professional pet grooming because it is a universal vocation. And of course, I can't say that one price that is in one part of the world is applicable to another part of the world. So if we're looking at a universal vocation, we're not going to be able to actually put dollar amounts or whatever the currency is on it, but we are going to be able to talk about concepts, some basic foundations that is shared throughout the entire industry. So what are these core concepts? So we're going to kind of jump back into Business 101, kind of take a little rewind, and we're going to go ahead and talk about what we are selling. So what is professional grooming and what are we selling? So we all understand that grooming is a service. So in terms of business, it's going to be falling into the services bucket of business. But within that service bucket, there are two main components specific to professional pet grooming that we need to examine separately to really understand what it is we are selling. So the two components of professional pet grooming are divided into wellness, okay, so the health and wellness of the dog, and then also on the styling. So we've got health and wellness, right, and we've got styling. Health and wellness is going to include the things that we need to do with our pets to make sure that they stay healthy. So our nail trims, our ear cleaning, making sure that the eyes are clean and healthy, all of that comes together in the health and wellness of a dog. That also includes keeping them clean, keeping them parasite free, but this is the whole ball of making sure that your pet stays healthy through professional pet grooming. And as discussed, the other component of pet grooming is going to be on styling. So how the pet looks and all of the skill that it takes to make that dog look the way that a client would like that pet to look. So again, we've got our two components of pet grooming, which is the health, and then we've got the styling. So for the wellness component, again, this is for the things that are going to keep your pet healthy, making sure that their nails are trimmed, their eyes are clean, their ears are clean, and all of that goes along with it. The question we really have to ask is it possible for most clients to take care of this for their pets at home? And I know it's a rhetorical question, but absolutely yes. Most clients can do this at home with their pets, but there's a few reasons why they don't do it. So let's go into those reasons to really understand what we're doing and what we're selling with professional pet grooming. So one of the factors that I see a lot of clients don't do this for their pets at home themselves is a fear, especially when it comes to cutting nails. You know that there's a vein in the nail, even though I do have a video out showing exactly, actually a few videos dealing with nails and grinding them. Still, there is a little trepidation out there. Most people are afraid to obviously cut a nail too short, which is a good thing to be afraid of, but definitely something that you can be trained on. But fear is usually the top reason why people say that they don't take care of this at home with their pets. The second reason, also very common, is that they don't want to be the bad guy, right? They don't want to be the person that's going to put the dog on the table to brush. We hear this all the time as groomers that clients come in and say, I know my dog's matted, but they won't let me brush them. So there is the I don't want to be the bad guy type of thing that clients have that prevents them or does not want them to have to take care of the wellness portion of pet grooming themselves. And then the third reason, let's be blunt, is that it is physical labor. It's difficult, and a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. Even if they have the equipment at home, again, you can do this at home. It doesn't take too much to do it, but mostly people won't want to do it because it is physical labor, and they would rather pay someone else to do that for them. Now, for the styling component, I have seen a lot of home groomers do amazing work with their one or two breeds to learn a puppy cut. So it absolutely can be done by clients at home. But why won't most clients do that? I kind of broken it down to the fact that they do want it done by a professional who has that skill, because the dog is truly a reflection of themselves. And if they go take the dog to dinner, invite friends over to their house, they want to make sure that their dog looks balanced, that it looks nice and neat, and if they have a trim or a style, that it's done by a professional. So that is pretty much the reason why most people won't go and do the styling component also at their own home. So here is the final kind of mix-up of this, is that if we know that pet owners can take care of the health and wellness portion of grooming at home, and they can take care of the styling portion of home, but we know that they're not doing it for some of the reasons that we talked about. Now we know that pet grooming falls into a luxury service. So now that we're talking about a luxury service, there's also some components that are really important to understand the foundation of pet grooming. And the next foundational component is that pet grooming, professional pet grooming, is a physical job. I know if you're a home groomer and you're doing 1 or 2 a month, it doesn't feel that way. But if you're doing professional pet grooming, you are sacrificing a lot of your body for the benefit of your job and for the pets. And let me just say that if you're doing something, let's say like doing nails on a dog, yes, you might have a hydraulic or electric table as a pet groomer, but you're not going to be lifting up a paw for your own benefit. You're going to be bending your body. You're going to be bending down for the comfort of the pet, because you can't keep lifting the table up and down. So just know that at the end of a day, an actual 8-hour, 9-hour, sometimes 10 or more hour workday, pet grooming, it is incredibly physically trying. There are nights, and most nights, where I just have to lay down and take a break off my feet and off of my back. So do know that there is a definite physical component that doesn't apply to a lot of vocations, that does apply to professional pet grooming. Okay, we also know that professional pet grooming is a skilled service. I always tell people that in order to ramp up and start grooming, it does not take that much time. But in order to have that skill, it's just like playing an instrument where you have that 10,000 hours where it becomes now the flow, the motion. You can basically groom a dog with your eyes closed if you had to, because you know the anatomy, you know the movement of how a dog reacts and what they're talking to you with their body, telling you with their movements. So all of that skill takes, like that they say, 10,000 hours to learn, but many, many thousands of hours to really get to that perfection and mastery stage. So just want to mention, also very important to remember, that professional pet grooming is a skilled vocation. It's also important to understand that professional pet grooming doesn't just dangle a toe into the water of health services. It dangles a few limbs. We not only, of course, have to know the health and wellness and observational health and wellness and seeing things on pets that other people might not be seeing by nature of our job. We also need to know triage, first aid, things that might not look right on a dog, and be able to report that and observe that. So do know that professional pet grooming is also a health service. Lastly, it's important to note that grooming is a dangerous service. Now, not every dog is dangerous, but I will say that a few times a week, my heart will let a little bit of a flutter, because either I'm doing nails and a dog will snap, get a little close to my face or close to my hands. We do get bit, we do get scratched in grooming, so it is dangerous on that. We also do, as we were talking about the physicality, we'll pull muscles, we'll pull our back out, throw our back out, so that happens. So do know that it is a dangerous service. And if you guys are doubting it in any way, I actually have some backup on this. In I want to say 2013, I was invited to participate on a show called Jobs That Bite on Nat Geo Wild, and so the host came, and I was supposed to train him on how to groom this little Yorkie, this really super vicious little Yorkie. And so as we're going through the process of grooming this dog, the host, Jeremy Brandt, who went on to wrestle ostriches and all sorts of dangerous things, looked at me when this dog was snapping at us, and I'm kind of laughing, and he said, "Oh my gosh," he said something, and I'll paraphrase to the effect of, I this is one of the most frightened times I've ever had in my life. I've never been really this scared in my life. So if you guys have any doubt whether or not professional pet grooming is a dangerous occupation, know that National Geographic is backing me up on this one. And definitely they consider it a dangerous job and included it in their Jobs That Bite series. All right, so now let's go through those basics again. We know that professional pet grooming is a luxury service. We know that it is a physical service. We know that it is a health service. We know that it is skilled, and we know that it is dangerous. There are very few vocations that can include all of these components, and it's very important to understand that those do exist in professional pet grooming, because I know myself and many others in professional pet grooming were trying to elevate the industry and trying to communicate exactly how rough it might be out there for groomers who are working this job for the love of animals. So taking all those components together, understanding the foundation, we are going to build on this. We're going to talk about the factors that affect pricing as we move along. So look for Unit 2 in the near future. Again, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hitting that notification button. And thanks for coming on this journey with us to really understand what grooming pricing is, how we should be pricing it out there, and to really understand the foundation of that grooming pricing. Thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate all that you are. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the description below. We are listening. We'll see you guys very soon.